Hey guys, so last night I went and saw Walk Among the Tombstones. I would have done this review last night, but I got home late, about 10:30, and I was dead tired. And also I had an interview earlier today, and I kind of had to go to bed pretty much right away after I left the theater. Um, this movie was at 8 p.m. There was an 8 p.m. pre-screening, and that gave me enough time to get home, go to bed, get some decent sleep. It's not like when I saw X-Men, I only had 4 hours of sleep because of seeing that movie. But anyways, I was looking forward to this movie. I'm a huge Liam Neeson fan. If you haven't watched my reviews, I've mentioned that a few times. Um, I especially love this resurgence of him just being a total badass in like almost every film he's in. He is very convincing. Also, the trailers kind of piqued my interest because it was like, this looks like it could be an interesting thriller. I was kind of interested in what was going on with this movie. There's some weird elements throughout that trailer that kind of piqued my interest. And like I said, Liam Neeson was going to be in it, and that, just kind of sold me instantly. He's one of my favorite actors right now. I think he's highly underrated. So, was it any good? Yeah, it was. It was a really fun little thriller. It was a really good thriller. Honestly, this movie deserves a little bit higher rating, in my opinion, on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it stands at 66%, but it deserves a little higher rating. It's not a flaw. It's not a flawless film, but it is a pretty it's a pretty damn good film. Liam Neeson, of course, is fucking amazing. Um, you get, it's more of him being in a serious role, but you do get elements of him being a badass, like him talking to the killers on the phone. I basically just tells them he's gonna fuck them up if they kill this little girl. It's great. It kind of does flash back to like something like Taken, which, by the fucking way, I'm gonna go on a rant here. Fucking critics. I was reading a review like, oh well, it wasn't taken in the graveyard. Why is every time he's in a fucking movie, everybody has to compare it to Taken? This is nothing like this. This is completely different from Taken. They did the same thing with Non-Stop that came out earlier this year. They're like, oh, it's not taken on a plane. The fuck? How do you, I don't put the two and two together. Just because Liam Neeson was in one action movie doesn't mean it doesn't mean like every action movie he does is exactly the same. It's not. This is not an action movie either. Far from it. But he's great. He has, what's up with him, by the way, playing recovering alcoholics as of late. He did this in Non-Stop. He did it in here. He's like a recovering alcoholic. If you've seen the trailer, you know what happens. It's the beginning scene where he's in a bar where cops don't have to pay for drinks, like he says, and these three guys come into the bar and blast the bar owner with a shotgun, and he basically chases him in the street and shoots him. He shoots one in the leg, and not only injures him, but he kills the other two. But unfortunately, one of the bullets missed and killed a 7-year-old girl. Went right for her eye. It's pretty fucking graphic. It does show you like there's fucking blood in it. It's kind of sad, and because he decided to quit. He was given accommodation, but he just decided to quit, and he's now a private detective. I wouldn't say this is like his best role of all time. I still think The Grey is one of his best roles in a fucking long time. Seriously, his acting chops in that movie was amazing. But you get all kinds of elements with him in this movie. You get him being a serious actor, and you also get to see him being a little bit of a badass here and there. I liked another person I really liked. I don't know his name off the top of my head. I tried to look it up on Wikipedia. The guy that played the main killer in this film. By the way, it's not like I was wondering if when I was going into this movie, was it going to be a whodunit? No, you know who the killers are. Like, you follow the killers throughout this movie, which was interesting. That was some of the most creepiest fucking elements of this whole fucking movie. Some of the crazier parts of the movie were following these two killers. Cause yeah, you know who they are like halfway for the like half hour into this movie. It's not really any big secret. And there's not really any big reveal at all about like I thought going in like there was gonna be like the husband had something to do with it. But anyways, the guy who plays the guy who's the main guy that Liam Neeson and the drug dealers talk to was really good. He was fucking creepy. He had some really, like, quiet moments that were just fucking disturbing. I don't know where I know I've seen this guy in movies before. I can't name it off he looked like, who was it? Michael C. Hall? He kind of reminded me, I thought he looked like fucking Michael C. Hall. I feel like, is Michael C. Hall in this movie? But he isn't. He seriously looks like Michael C. Hall. Am I saying, that's who I'm thinking, right? Oh, give me one second. But yeah, he was really good. He was intimidating as shit. Also, I like the guy who played the drug dealer, or the husband who's hires Liam Neeson. He's really good. He has some really good scenes with Liam Neeson. I'm trying to think else. I also liked the guy who played the gardener in the graveyard. It is revealed like 30 minutes into the movie he had something to do with one of the murders. And well, it's no fucking surprise. The guy looks creepy enough. He looks like a guy who would be a serial killer. So it's like, it sounds really wrong to say, but he does look like a guy who would be a serial killer. But anyways, also this movie is fucking dark as shit. It is really disturbing. Some of the shit is really disturbing in this movie. It is a really disturbing thriller. And one of the best things about this movie is that a lot of the violence in this movie is implied. It's not shown. That's one of the most effective ways to do violence, like this movie has in this movie. Honestly, this movie has one of the most disturbing opening credit sequences I've ever fucking seen. No fucking joke. It's the movie starts where it shows the prologue of Liam Neeson in that bar, the scene in the bar at the bar that you see in the trailer, and then it cuts to like opening credits where they show everybody's name that's involved in the movie. While also while also showing a scene of a woman that's being tied up and gagged, and all you see is like hands touching her all over her and stuff like that, and she's crying. It's fucking disturbing. Like, it's not, you don't see much of what the hell they're doing to her, but it's only implied, and it's really fucking disturbing. It's like, I was like, wow, I was like, holy fuck, that was disturbing. Also, what you find out happens to the wife is really fucking disturbing. Basically, I'm not gonna. This is explained in the first like 10 minutes what happens to her, but the husband explains the story where he gets a phone call from the guys that kidnapped her, and they basically tell him to drop off money, and when he drops off the money, his his wife will be in his car waiting for him. Can't say that. Goes in the car. He gives him the money. Goes in the car. His wife's not there. He gets another phone call. Says that she's at his house. Goes to the house. She's not there. Gets another phone call at the house. Tells him that his wife is in the trunk of an abandoned car in Brooklyn. Goes to this abandoned car in Brooklyn, and he opens the trunk, and basically he finds like all these bags of like what looks like, from what look at first looks like a bunch of bags of drugs in a car. But he opens up the bags and blood is just pouring out. So it's his wife just cut into fucking pieces. It's fucking disturbing. It's like shit like that is really disturbing and really effective. Like, it's a really effective thriller. Like, it doesn't show much of the violence. It's only implied. I really dug the shit out of that. If I were to name one thing that I did not like about this movie, and I haven't read any reviews about it, I try to stay away from reading any reviews before I see the movie. Or before I see the movie and before I do my review. After I do the review, I read, because I don't want the reviews to influence what I think. I don't know if anybody else is saying this, but I'm sure I'm probably not the only one, that I did not like that kid in this movie. I really didn't. He was not very good. He didn't kill the movie for me at all. He really didn't. He's basically Liam Neeson's sidekick. And there's no reason for a fucking sidekick in this fucking film. He could have been easily cut out of this movie. There's no purpose for like his character whatsoever. Like, there's scenes, the scenes that are where Liam Neeson's at his weakest is probably with him. Because basically it's just Liam Neeson being the old guy, like, oh, what's this newfangled technology that you call the internet? Basically, I swear that's almost half the dialogue between him and this kid. And of course, he's the kind of kid that drives me nuts in fucking movies, where he's smarter than the average kid and never talks like a normal fucking kid. Oh, and and the kid, his shit could have been easily cut out. I mean, he wasn't horrible, but it was fucking pointless. His character was pointless. Although at one point, towards the end, Liam Neeson takes him to the final shootout, which, that's really great. This kid will never Liam Neeson's never getting custody of this kid, for fuck's sake, because this kid's basically homeless. I didn't care too much for the kid. Also, if you really sit there and think about some of the stuff in this movie, like the fact that the killers pose as DEA agents, and you start thinking about it a little bit, like some of the plot devices in this movie, you kind of can nitpick the shit in this movie. Because there was points in this movie like, how the fuck did they get people to believe that they were DEA agents? It's not that fucking easy. This movie kind of made it sound like it was too fucking easy. It is. I believe it's not. Just because they had a folder of all these drug dealers, that just made people apparently assume that they were DEA agents. Stuff like that. But honestly, that stuff I can overlook because I enjoyed the fucking movie enough that I wouldn't, like, if I didn't enjoy the movie, I probably would nitpick the shit in this movie. But nah, it's a really fun little flick. Also, one thing that did annoy me is that this movie takes place in 1999, and this movie loves to remind you that it's taking place in 1999 because there's 5 million references to the Y2K. It's like, alright, movie, I get it. We get it. This movie takes place in 1999. You don't have to fucking tell me every 2 fucking scenes. It kind of did drive me nuts because, like, there's this shit all over throughout this movie about the Y2K. It kind of drove me nuts. But anyways, I do recommend this movie. It is really good. It's a really good thriller. Liam Neeson, if you're a fan like me, like Liam Neeson, this is a really good movie. One of his better movies in a while. Actually, I mean, I'm trying to think what I like this better than Nonstop, but because Nonstop was a little absurd. Some of you had to throw a little disbelief out the window, especially towards the end. But anyways, as far as trailers, I only got 2 new ones. I got a bunch of the same old trailers I've gotten, like Dracula Untold, Gone Girl, I forget what else, but I got a new trailer for The Judge. I'm hoping that's good. This is one of those. I didn't talk about this. I haven't talked about this since I first talked about the first trailer. That I found out the guy who's making this is the guy who made Wedding Crashers. The hell? It's like, that's a weird, like, this guy's made that. He's made Wedding Crashers and Fred Claus. So he's made comedies. So now he's making this really serious fucking drama. That's a really weird. And apparently reviews have not been very good for this movie. So I don't know. I don't know how this movie could be really that bad because it's fucking the cast it's got. Amazing cast. Although I kept making fun of the trailer because I swear to God, Robert Downey Jr. half the trailer. This is the face he's making. He's like crying like this. Like, I'm not joking. Watch that trailer and tell me he doesn't make that face half the time. He's like that. He spends half the trailer just fucking crying, and God damn it, I mean, I like Robert Downey Jr. So I mean, that's one of the reasons why I probably would. One of the reasons I'm seeing this is because of Robert Downey Jr. I love that guy. Want to support anything he fucking does. He's such a great actor. I don't know. Hopefully it's gonna be good. That'll be in a couple weeks. And the last trailer I got, oh my fucking God. Last trailer I got was John Wick. This has to be one of the stupidest plots for an action movie I've seen in a while. And that's saying something. Get this. It's a Keanu Reeves action movie. Yes, they're trying to make Keanu Reeves an action star again. Because that fucking worked with stuff like 47 Ronin, but whatever. John Wick, the plot is, from what I got from the trailer, the plot is Keanu Reeves is like driving a Mustang around with his dog, and he stops at a gas station, and these mobsters stop him talk to him at the gas station about wanting to buy his car, his Mustang, and he tells them it's not for sale, and they're like, well, just have a good day. Well, that's never a good sign. So these guys come into his house, knock him out, and kill his dog. All right. So what does Keanu Reeves wakes up, sees his dog dead, which apparently was his dead wife's dog, and decides to go to be hell bent on killing every fucking person in this mob. Really? Like, just because a fucking dog got killed? Really? I mean, I love my dog and shit. I have dogs. I'm a dog person, but I wouldn't go after the fucking mob because of it. It's really fucking stupid. That's really stupid. I'm sorry. That is really dumb. But anyways, that's what the trailer. Unless there's more to it, I don't know. But it doesn't look like it from if the trailers are telling you. From what the trailers are telling you. Anyways, I'm gonna get off here. I'll be back next week with The Equalizer. I'll maybe have a review for The Drop later this week too, but I don't know yet. But until then, I'll see you guys.